Hello and welcome once again to the Outdoor Station, your free audio and video resource for all things outdoors involving self-powered travel. Now, Gossamer Gear is a well-known cottage manufacturer of lightweight hiking products based over in the US, of course. A brand which has been in operation for many years and who is at the forefront of consistent production of quality US manufactured rucksacks and shelters for the outdoors market. Gossamer Gear is now available. Good news in the UK, and of course this means immediate dispatch, consumer protection, excellent customer service, and of course no lottery with the import duties and VAT. In this video we're going to look in greater detail at the Mariposa Ultralight backpack. We'll also look at the optional hip belt and explain how to measure your back length to get the right fit for you. However, before we do all that, and to help clarify which Gossamer Gear rucksack is the right one for you, here's an overview of the Mariposa, the G4, the Gorilla and the Kumo all together. Before we look at one of the packs in more detail, I thought you might like to see the current range that are available as a comparison to each other. Now before I start, I want to explain that these three packs, which I'll come on to, are long back lengths, large back lengths, and unfortunately this one is a medium back length. That's the only one I could lay my hands on at the time, but we will start with this one. Here you have the Mariposa. This is the pack that the long distance hikers love. The Mariposa weighs in, the capacity of the Mariposa is 47 litres plus 22, and with the hip belt, the optional hip belt, it weighs in at 765 grams. But that's the pack that the general long distance hikers like, and we'll come on and look at that in a little bit more detail in a moment. This is the G4, which is the ultralight pack really for the ultralight enthusiasts, obviously. The capacity here, we're looking at 52 plus 13 litres on the outside pockets, and this with the optional hip belt weighs in at 468 grams, and we'll look at that again in a bit more detail in a moment. These are the two packs that the long distance hikers are probably interested in, and I'll just compare those again in a second. Then we come on to the Gorilla. The Gorilla is 39 plus 16 litres on the external pockets, and it weighs in at 737 grams. Perhaps a long weekend pack, or possibly if you can get obviously good 50 litres in there, it could actually be ideal for a longer trip, but you've got to have to pack light. Then we have the Kumo. The Kumo here, that is 36 litres. There's no measurement from Gossamer Gear on the size of the external pockets, but I'm guessing around an extra 10 litres or so for the three pockets we've got here. And that, as I say, weighs in at 435 grams and ideal for a weekend trip or day trips, day walkers and whatever, but a lovely little pack. So let's go back to the two larger packs just to give you a direct comparison. As I say, please keep in mind that obviously that is a long back length and this is a medium back length, so the long back length is just fractionally taller on this particular pack. Now, there is a little bit of confusion with actually what these packs come with. So taking the Mariposa, let's start with that one. The Mariposa comes automatically with a sit light pad, the pad on the back here, the aluminium stay inside the back to give it structure, and a shock cord, some length of shock cord, so to allow you to make up your own compression system over the top or the sides as to suit you. That's what that one comes with. It does not come with a hip belt. The G4, that is what you get with the G4. You do not get any accessories with the G4. You get the basic pack, and that is without a hip belt, without any sit pad. These are all optional extras. So you just get the basic pad, basic rucksack with that one, keeping it to its philosophy of being ultralight, of course. Coming down to the Gorilla, like the Mariposa, comes with the sit light pad, which goes in here, and the metal stay. Now the hip belt, the optional hip belt, which is available for the Gorilla and the Mariposa, is identical. So if you've got a hip belt for one, you can use them on both packs. And it's quite useful having an optional hip belt, because I, for example, would have a long back length on any of the packs, but I'd have a medium belt, which suits my figure, as it were. So that works quite well. Now the hip belt for the G4 is unique to the G4. It will not work with the Gorilla or the Mariposa, so try and keep that in mind. When you order the belt for the G4, it will only fit the G4. And the belt for the G4 comes without pockets. The belt for the Gorilla and the Mariposa comes with pockets.
And then finally, just to add to the confusion, we have the Cumo. Now the Cumo comes with the sit light pad on the back. There is no metal stay inside at all, so it's just the sit light pad and the shock cord inside. Plus this one is actually has an attached, hip belt, which is here, which is a standard 1.5 inch webbing, which actually is removable. You can just unhitch that should you wish to do so, and possibly replace it with something else or not at all. So that is what that one comes with. So from a size point of view, as I say, keeping in mind that that is a large back length and this is a medium back length, you can just see how they compare from the side and from the front, and then from the back as well. Obviously the sit light pad is in this one at the moment, just purely for packing point of view, so you can see what's involved. That's those two. And then if you go to the other two packs, you have the Gorilla and the Cumo. The Gorilla and the Cumo are both long back lengths, and they've just got padding in there at the moment just to give you a flavour for how the sizes actually compare. So that's a brief overview on all the 4 packs we have in front of us.
So if that has whetted your taste buds, now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the Mariposa pack itself.
This is the Gossamer Gear Mariposa pack. A lovely pack, one very, very popular with long distance hikers, and the capacity of the pack is 47 litres internally and 22 litres externally. These are figures provided by Gossamer Gear. A medium back length pack with the optional hip belt will weigh in at 765 grams. Now let's look at some of the features on the pack in a bit more detail, and you can see why people really, really like this pack for long distance hiking. For a start, you have this massive front pocket here, which is super generous, very stretchy and highly breathable. Goes right to the bottom of the pack there, and in there you can get your day's clothing, wet clothing stashed in there, toilet trowel, first aid kit, shelter, whatever it might be, and at least it can air and dry, particularly on a day like today where the sunshine and the rain is coming and going, which is great. At the bottom of the pack we have the walking pole loop for stashing your walking pole, giving it a couple of twists so it's locked in place, and then you would attach it up here with one of the attachment points with an item, some shock cord which is supplied. Now going to the side of the pack, or one of the sides, we have a very, very long and tall pocket which runs virtually the whole length of the pack, the whole depth of the pack. At the bottom it does have a grommet draining hole as well, so if you put anything wet in there, at least it can drain out. And most people generally will put their shelter in this long pocket, or possibly if they use a Z mat, a Z sleeping mat, they'll fill that pocket with a Z sleeping mat. But a very, very useful pocket from that point of view. On the other side we have 2 pockets. We have the lower pocket, which again has a grommet in it, and that is easily reachable from the front of the pack when you're wearing the pack, and you can reach behind and grab, well, easily in there some food, apples, your wind shirt, whatever it might be. You might even want to stash your map in there, whatever. But the top pocket then becomes useful for the things which are sort of like secondary, perhaps your camera or other such items, or more food during the day. And again, that's got a grommet in it as well, which is good. Coming round to the back of the pack, now the Mariposa is supplied with this sit mat system, the sit mat, which is removable. It sits in this mesh pocket here, and it's supplied with a aluminium stay which runs down the inside of the pack. I'll show you that in a second. Now there are, everybody uses these packs in different ways. You do not have to use everything that is supplied. So for example, you could take the metal stay out and just use the sit pad. You could take the sit pad out and just use the stay, or vice versa, take them both out and not use anything at all. But a little bit of frame, a little bit of comfort is useful. Now, to save on packing and capacity, you do have an option with this to take this mat out, not use that at all, and replace it with a sleeping pad. And I'll just show you how easy that is now. So what I have here is a Thermarest ProLite 3 Short. Now, something I've discovered in preparing for these demos, which I think is important to mention, is that the back socket, back section, this part here, for a medium pack, a long back length pack, will take a standard sit mat, which is 20 inches wide from there to there. We'll take a standard sleeping mat, so that can be the Neo Air, that can be the ProLite, that can be a variety of things. The small back length will not take it. It is too compressed and too crunched down, so bear that in mind if you're a smaller person. So the sit mat literally comes out like that. We fold the ProLite 3 short down into quarter, shove that inside there, and you can even get to the valve in the corner to give it a little puff of air to give it some structure. So one thing that does that that gives you the structure and support you might want. It keeps your sleeping pad separate from the contents of your rucksack, and it also reduces down the bulk capacity of your packing in the rucksack as well. So that's something that's well worth keeping in mind. The optional hip belt will tuck in underneath this, and there's a Velcro pad inside there where it attaches to. But as I say, you don't have to have the hip belt should you not want to. What else have I missed on the pack then? It's coming down to the front harness. The shoulder harness here has upper cinch straps. It's the only one in the Gossamer Gear range that we're showing that has got upper cinch straps to pull the load closer to the back. You have the adjustable chest brace. You have nice wide shoulder harness foam pads here, and you naturally have a whistle on the chest brace as well, which is a useful accessory most packs are going with. Now the shoulder harness itself is lovely and comfortable for guys, but on the female form it's not necessarily shaped to comfort. I've seen ladies using these packs quite comfortably, but it doesn't suit everybody, so do take that into account. At the bottom of the adjustment strap we have a male and female clip, and I think the idea of this is to clip these together to tuck that strap out of the way. But to be honest, I find that an inconvenience and it tends to get in the way with whatever I'm wearing. So I would probably take those off and just ignore them really, and leave it with the chest brace. Obviously we have the grab handle at the top, and one thing I did forget to mention, you've got 8 pairs of loops down here to allow you to put on your shock cord in whatever format you want for a side compression system. Okay, coming to the top of the pack. Now it's supplied, as you can see it here, with this webbing, which is just normal cord, which you can replace with the optional shop cord that comes inside the pack itself. And you have a nice long pocket. Now this pocket, although it's the full width here of the lid section, it's probably only good for flatter items. So obviously your map and such things like that, to perhaps a wallet or whatever else, but nothing too bulky. You wouldn't want to put a camera in there, it would just be too bulky and upset the balance of the pack really. The lid is clipped with the front adjusters here and here. Now the lid system that Gossamer Gear are using is called OTT, over the top. We're all used to the shock cord, the pull cord system, where you have a bag and you pull a cord and it closes the neck of the bag down. This one is basically a fold over system. You can see there, if the camera just tilts up fractionally, you can see how that folds over. And you reduce the bulk of the material with these separate clips here which are provided. So that's the neck completely open. Then to shut the pack down, you clip these two together and fold it over like so, and then clip it down. And obviously it means you've got 2 or 3 layers of material there, which acts as a little bit of waterproofing for the contents, but I wouldn't guarantee it from as a waterproof system. It just adds a little bit more weather protection. Right, let's have a look inside the pack for a second. I'll just take out a bit of stuffing and tilt it towards you. So, inside the pack you have the metal stay here. The metal stay is very simple to remove. It literally is a Velcro tab. There's 2 slots for the stay to go in, and it literally just pulls out like that. And as I say, if you don't want it, you just remove it, and that'll save you a little bit of weight. If you're carrying a lot of weight and want to have the structure, then the stay is useful. You don't get inside this rucksack, you don't get a hydration slot, which is I think a good thing, because personally I find them a waste of time. However, at the top of the pack on both sides you do have a left and a right hydration exit there it is, a left and a right hydration exit. So if you have a small bottle sitting in the top there, you can choose which side your pipe exits on. So I think that is probably about it I can mention on the Mariposa pack. As I say, you can probably see from the features, very, very popular with the long distance hiker. takes a lot of capacity, but at the same time, should you need to compress it down by putting the shock cord on those tabs on the outsides, on both sides, you can pull a few cords and compress the whole thing down. So what it does allow you to do, which most people find when they're doing a long distance hike, is you'll get to a base, fill up with 3 or 4 days food, and then obviously eat your way through that, and the pack reduces down again. It does allow you that flexibility. And as I say, the optional extra for this pack is the hip belt, and the hip belt comes with a pocket, and you just select the hip belt for your waist size.
As mentioned, the hip belt is an optional extra. Some people prefer not to have one at all, so there's naturally a weight saving. However, if you do want to use one, here's a brief explanation of the Gossamer Gear belts on offer.
Let's talk for a few moments about the hip belt options which are available for the Gossamer Gear packs. We've got 6 hip belts here, 2 types in 3 different sizes, small, medium and large. The ones nearest the camera here, these are the hip belts for the Mariposa and the Gorilla pack. Slightly wider, more padded, more supported, and obviously they have pockets on each pack. These 3 here are small, medium and large, which are only suitable for the G4. They will not swap between the packs, so I'm afraid you have to get the right belt for the right pack. Now the hip belt pockets are reasonable on these padded belts here for the Mariposa and the Gorilla. Certainly get a GPS in there, some chocolate bars, a few extra bits and bobs perhaps, but practically useful. Whereas the belt for the G4 has no pockets at all. However, what it does have is removable padding. In keeping with its ultralight philosophy, you can just pull the Velcro open there and pull out the foam padding which is supplied, and obviously replace it with small items of clothing, which is what the Gossamer Gear original packs used to do.
The great advantage of packs which are produced in different back lengths is there's more chance of getting one to fit perfectly. The majority of the one-size-fits-all packs that are manufactured and you see in most retail shops are suitable for those people who are close to 5'10", you lucky things. Which is why everybody else, like myself, over 6 foot and those under 5'8", are continually disappointed and frustrated with rucksacks. Measuring your back air length is quite a simple operation, and once again here's a quick clip to show you how to do it. Well, I hope there's been plenty of information in this video to give you all the items you need about your information you need about the Mariposa, and if you can decide whether it's the right pack for you. Please subscribe to all our various feeds and keep an eye out open on the Outdoor Station website, as there's more audio and video podcasts coming every week. Until next time, folks, bye for now.
Machine will have eyes, ears, and a voice.